Michigan, Big Ten here. Let's get it. Talk to my kid in Michigan. Ain't no more talking. Ain't no more none of that. It's game time.
Welcome you to Saturday Showcase presented by 5 Hour Energy. As you're watching the Big Ten on ESPN. The presumptive #1 in college basketball. You just heard from two of them, the Michigan Wolverines. On the road at Wisconsin, it's been tough for them historically under John Beilein. Kohl Center, Wisconsin, always great here. Jason Benetti, Dan Dockich. Does #1 in the country matter?
Absolutely it matters. It's what you play for. Every coach wants to be #1. Every player wants to be #1. And quite frankly, it's a memory you have the rest of your life. Yeah, I played on the #1 team. Yeah, I coached the #1 team. Yes.
Got to win today, though, or Wendy's wouldn't watch a freshman and a senior.
Well, Ethan Happ has been here since Michael Finley, and Iggy just got here, and it's going to be fascinating because Iggy has been really a force in the Big Ten here early, like a tornado, does everything well, goes to the rim. And Ethan Happ, you know, not a great shooter. In fact, under 50 as a free throw shooter, but my gosh, he leads the Big Ten, or excuse me, is in the top 3 in the Big Ten and everything.
Massive Saturday here on ESPN. Coming up later, Kentucky, Auburn, Duke, and Virginia. But first, a possible #1 team as of Monday, the Michigan Wolverines, who've lost 1 time in their last 32 games.
That's really amazing when you think about last year. Last time was national championship game.
Brad Davison, the miss, and Xavier Simpson, who is really the connector on this team. You saw the confidence walking out of the locker room from him.
Read a great article by Brandon Quinn about him, about how he gets all his teammates together off the court, funny with him, joking, but tough on the court. Look at Poole.
Oh, Jordan Poole, the first 2, and a beauty.
I'm not so sure he is not the best NBA prospect in the Big Ten.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not so sure. I know Romeo Langford is, and we'll talk about that as we move through the day. But I'm not so sure Jordan Poole isn't ultimately going to be that guy.
We'll hear from ESPN.com draft analyst Mike Schmitz about that topic in a couple minutes here in the first half. He's here today. Happ tries to go to work, and Wisconsin with 7 to shoot will hang on.
Something to watch defensively. Last game, Readers hit a bunch of threes from the top of the key in the second half to bring them back against Maryland. Michigan is switching that, putting Simpson on Reavers when they go to that ball screen. Something to watch, the switching by Michigan.
They can switch 1 through 5, basically.
Well, you can, because Reavers is standing at the top of the key. And the question is, and this is how you're going to guard Happ. And we'll talk about it.
He's seen a lot of different defenses so far this year as Charles Matthews has the dribble with 14 to shoot for Michigan. Undefeated. Little armbar from Brosdakis, no whistle. And Wisconsin, who's been so rough in the first half in Big Ten play, trying to stave that off today.
Haven't been very good in the first 10 minutes of games. There's the back cut. Oh!
And great response by the defense and Brosdakis. Turnover, Michigan. They don't do that very often, just about 9 times a game.
Yeah, Poole might as well just shoot a jump shot there. He brought the ball down, and look, a good player figures it out at the elbow. You pull up, you shoot, or you make the defense commit and pass. He overcommitted.
Why is Wisconsin so rough in the first 10 minutes?
A couple reasons. I don't think they've shot the ball well, #1. And #2, when I watch them, they haven't guarded people well individually in the first half. Like, their defense has been very, very sloppy first half of the last couple games.
There they just helped off of Happ with Matthews, and Matthews the rebound.
That's when he's out on the perimeter. You're going to help on the next man. I was talking to Coach Yakovich, the defensive specialist for Michigan. Double off Iverson, help off everybody else.
Smooth for Jordan Poole, who's got all 4 for Michigan.
You said it. I'm telling you, he is smooth. He's just like Romeo Langford, except he can shoot the deep ball. And Romeo Langford is in the top 10 according to our draft boards. Not mine, but ESPN's.
Davison has the first 2 for Wisconsin. Brad Davison, about 11 points a game, but that's been up the last 7. One and done might be the theme of today. Neither team is a major crasher of the offensive glass. Iverson digging, got a hand on it, and here comes Poole. Oh, he thought about it, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. It would not have been a bad shot.
Happ got a piece of it, a foul on Brosdakis, but John Beilein in his 12th season at Michigan a fantastic coach, but 5-16 against Wisconsin.
A lot of that was earned. He's 3-2 against Coach Gard, and John Beilein is maybe the best coach in college basketball. I mean, what he has done here, and think about this, you look out on the court, not one 5-star recruit, not one McDonald's All-American. In an age where that's all we talk about or want to talk about, none. Xavier Simpson, highly recruited, Mr. Basketball in Ohio, all these guys really good players, but none in the upper echelon of high school basketball coming out.
Shot fake, Kobe King missed the jumper, and a foul against Wisconsin. It's on a lead 4. That's his first. Greg Gard took over as the interim coach for Bo Ryan December 15th of 2015. 6-8 against the top 10. That's a pretty good number, Dan.
Yeah, it's a really good number. You know, Greg has to get to the tournament. You take over for a legend, and let's make no mistake. It started with Dick Bennett, and it came even farther with Bo Ryan. And there'll be buildings named after Bo Ryan at some point, I'm sure. Taking over for him, you got to match, and it's not really fair.
Teske second chance, and he will go to the free throw line. John Teske draws the whistle.
You know what Teske does better than most big men? And this is something to watch for the rest of the game. When he goes to the offensive board, he catches the ball off the glass at full extension. A lot of guys hope the ball comes to them and they catch it in front of their chin or they catch it in front of their forehead. He catches it with his fingertips, which makes him about literally 9 feet tall, rebounding on particularly the offensive end.
How about his transformation? 3 minutes a game as a freshman. Couldn't have seen this coming even as a junior, what he's done this year.
It started last year about halfway through, and it was a major reason that he became, or Michigan became, a national finalist. And it has continued, and he has broadened his game. The threes that you'll see him shoot from the top of the key are by design.
He's got 8 of them this year. By the way, that foul was on Aleem Ford, his second, as you see. So early foul trouble in a game that shouldn't feature very many.
Now that and turnovers, both teams historically. There's your makeup.
You think so?
I don't know. The fans were on the officials.
Why'd you say it?
I felt like it. But they thought the foul was on Happ, and Happ made a clean block on the other end. And let's be, why I said it? Because actually I know. You know as a ref when a foul's coming on the other end. You just, or as a coach, you just do.
You just feel it?
You know it. Yeah, you feel it.
Wisconsin shooting only 22% from 3 in the first half of Big Ten games. That one goes against Austin Davis. Kohl Center jam-packed with people because you don't want to be outside right now. It's nasty. You're watching the Big Ten on ESPN from the Kohl Center, which is a multi-purpose facility, as they say. Last night, there was college hockey here. Bucci was here. Notre Dame and Wisconsin played 6-4 the final, going to the Irish. And the changeover happens pretty quickly. You know there's hockey here because it's cold fairly often here in the Kohl Center, but they stack the floor in the back, and droves of people come out and make this thing happen. So credit to Wisconsin. Those two teams, by the way, will play hockey tomorrow at the United Center. A little slip through for Davison, so he's got all 4 for Wisconsin. Isaiah Livers has checked in for Michigan, with Austin Davis playing down low after Teske picked up an early foul. Poole too strong. Livers the offensive rebound. 3rd offensive board for Michigan. Matthews on Happ. Both teams will have some long possessions today, and Davis in the rebound.
That was really good by Happ. He squared his shoulders, moved his feet, kept him in front.
Happ right into Davis and lifted out.
See, I think Davis did a good job. Happ was not able to jump. He got into his body. He had no legs under him.
Matthews off the pivot. Happ swatted at it and has a rebound. A double-double machine for Wisconsin. Ethan Happ.
Best hands in college basketball. I mean, seriously. I'm giving a lot of bests out today, and it's early, but man, does he have great hands.
Is there a better passing big than him?
Not statistically.
Reavers knocks down the jumper. Wisconsin leads.
And I don't think there's a better shooting big man than that kid when he gets it going.
In a building that opened in '98, Wisconsin still has not lost for the 50th time. They have 49 losses here at the Kohl Center. There's that hook shot for Simpson.
It was over 2 guys. He's worked on that. And good for him. Great players add to their game. Bad players should add to their game. Medium players should add to their game. He added to his game. Does it every game.
Got a nice little sweep to it.
Yeah, that was from the hip.
Happ wants to work on Davis and has his first bucket.
2 shooters on his side. One at the top of the key in Reavers who can really shoot it, and Davison on the wing who can really shoot. It's perfect setup for Happ.
Would you double him?
I think you have to, but you only got really one guy out there, and that's Iverson. He's not out there. I mean, nobody out there you can't. Watch this. I've said forever, nobody could hook it like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, but in college, no one hooks it like Xavier Simpson. Look at this thing.
You got to have some guts to do that, too, going into bodies and confidence in that shot.
That's really true, because you can look like a fool. Like, you can hook that over the backboard. It just tells you how much he's worked on. He and his dad all summer long worked on his shot, worked on his game, and that's the result, or one of the results.
He hit 5 threes in the last game Sunday against Northwestern. He was 5 for 10 from 3. Livers misses. Davis an offensive rebound. Second chances coming in droves for Michigan so far.
That's been there. That has been there. They just haven't trusted Davis enough to throw it up. Had Teskey been in the game, you would have seen that play 4 times already.
How do you stop it?
You got to push from under. Usually Wisconsin doesn't hedge. They've been hedging the ball screens, meaning going out on them. Usually they play underneath. Got to stay underneath.
Underneath Reavers there, he missed the 3.
Halfway down.
Big second half for Reavers, as you were talking about against Maryland.
That
comeback. Little slip, and Davis the slam. Back-to-back buckets for the junior.
There's no reason to go out on Xavier Simpson. You go under the ball screen on Simpson and make him shoot. I will take my chances on the road with Xavier Simpson shooting. At home, different story.
Hey, this day on ESPN, by the way,
awesome.
We got some games for you. 4 Eastern, Kentucky and Auburn. Tigers won that game last year. Then Duke trying to bounce back from the fighting Boeheims, taking them down at Cameron against Virginia, who's also unbeaten. It's a Sonic blockbuster, and it's on the ESPN app as well, so you can watch anywhere. 4 Eastern, 6 Eastern time. Virginia, you beat Virginia Tech, maybe beat Duke. Maybe you can stake a claim for number 1 as well, you think?
Yeah, we're pretty much what have you done for me lately, and that's a great week. I mean, you're talking about Duke on the road.
Still, would you guess that if Michigan wins this game, they're number 1 on Monday?
No. If Duke loses, if Virginia beats Duke, I think Virginia will be the number 1 team.
Really?
I do. I don't necessarily think they have a better resume than Michigan, and I'm not so sure that Michigan State isn't playing better than anybody in the country right now. But I think if Virginia wins that game, they're number 1.
Ethan Happ trying to pry away the rebound and knocked it to Reavers in the corner. Point blank, couple of misses.
This is what happened in the first half against Maryland. A lot of things around the rim rolling off.
Eli Brooks with a travel. Michigan turns it over. We told you, Mike Schmitz, our NBA analyst on ESPN.com, to talk about the draft. He will join us after this. Michigan by 2. We're here to talk about future Chicago Bulls. Mike Schmitz, NBA draft analyst, is here. He grew up in Phoenix, so the snow's, I'm sure, lovely for him. How are you?
I'm great. I made it up from Milwaukee late last night, so I'm here. One piece.
You made it. So look, this game, top guys draft-wise in this game that we're watching right now.
Yeah, I think we're looking at Charles Matthews, wing defender, a guy who can guard multiple positions, obviously needs to shoot the ball better. Ethan Happ, Jordan Poole, also Ignas Brazdeikis. So trying to get a better feel for those guys, but more so, guys for the future, or when you're talking about Happ, second round type of undrafted guys.
You hear about Ethan Happ and his career at Wisconsin. Why Matthews and Poole ahead of him?
Yeah, I think in terms of Matthews, you're looking for versatile defenders, right? Wing defenders generally have a better shot and have more opportunities to make it in the NBA. So I think the fact that he can guard multiple positions, fits in today's game. And then Poole is still 19 and a half years old and can really shoot the ball. So I think he has more of a fit as well.
Kobe King for three, the redshirt freshman for Wisconsin. What would you say Ethan Happ has to do to improve his stops?
Yeah, I mean, at his age, I think it's going to be a little bit difficult in the fact that he doesn't shoot the three well, and he's not a guy who really protects the rim. So I think his body of work kind of speaks for itself in a lot of ways. But if you're talking about a team that wants to play multiple bigs, likes a guy who can play out of dribble handoffs, he has a great feel for the game. So maybe not a surefire draft pick, but a guy who's going to go to training camp with an NBA team for sure.
You've seen some Big Ten basketball. Who are your top draft possibilities in the Big Ten right now?
Yeah, I think Romeo Langford is a potential top 5 pick. He's a guy who's at number 5 on our list right now. 3-level scorer, 6'6", close to 7-foot wingspan. Kind of reminds me a little of DeMar DeRozan, the way that he plays. So he's definitely the headliner of that group.
Dan, you like this list?
I think there's some teams you're going to get waste some picks. I mean, Romeo Langford to me isn't close to a top 5 pick. I get it, can't shoot, got to be able to shoot to play in the NBA. The other kid, I get the NBA is all about potential. I get all that. I just don't see a lot of NBA players in the Big Ten, quite frankly. And, I think Poole, because he can shoot the ball at this moment, I think is pretty much the best prospect for me. I just haven't seen Langford guard well enough at all, and I haven't seen him shoot the ball well enough. But you know what? He's 18 years old, I'm sure.
No question.
He's got certainly can score around the rim, drive it, big, strong.
No question. And Io in particular, I mean, he's been fantastic these last few games.
Yes, he has.
Those last 5 games, he's averaging 21 points a game. I think he's shooting 45% from 3. So guys like Malik Beasley and kind of in that mold are really having success in the NBA, which has helped a guy like Io.
I totally agree. And Io is a bet on the come, right? I mean, you're not betting on what he is right now. But I do think this, and I think anybody that's watched Illinois, Mike, will tell you that there's a real toughness about the way guys are being coached. And there's an improvement. Like you talk to Big Ten coaches, they say the team that's going to win the most games or surprise in the second half is Illinois. And it's a lot because of his improvement.
No question. He can really defend. He's a high-energy kid, just like you said. And then when you're going down the list, I think another guy, Isaiah Roby, is somebody who's a little bit of a sleeper. Small-town kid. It took him a while to catch on. But
I do want to, before we move on, I do want to ask you about Bruno Fernando, because Bruno Fernando, I think, has improved his game. He's not as stiff as he was. Nice. Very nice from Poole to test. He's improved. He's not as stiff, it seems to me. You agree with that?
Yeah, he moves great. I think he's made a huge jump this year.
Yeah.
He's a 7'4" wingspan. He has a pro body. And his motor and his passion, I think that's really what's going to stick at the next level. You look at a Montrezl Harrell type, maybe he can be in that mold. Rashawn Holmes, he's helped himself in a big way this year.
I mean, the more I watch, and I'm sure this is with you, but the more you watch, the more you like or the more you dislike.
Fritzl misses the jumper. And hey, before we step aside, this is a guy you want to talk about from Murray State, sleeper type from a non-power 5.
Yeah, John Morant has really taken college basketball and really NBA front offices by storm here. We have him at number 3 on our big board. He's an explosive athlete, plays above the rim with ease, and he'll dunk on you and then get right in your face and play the Lance Stevenson air guitar or rock the baby like Russell Westbrook. I mean, he really has no fear. He's averaging close to a triple-double. He's opened a lot of eyes this year.
Have you ever seen a guy, and I know people knew about him last year, but have you ever seen a guy jump to number 3? Like, I'm thinking Antonio Daniels in like '99 went from nowhere to number 2 or whatever. Right?
No, it's rare, that high. I mean, you can think of small school guys like a Dame Lillard or a C.J. McCollum, but this kid has made a huge jump. He was extremely under-recruited out of South Carolina. He was really skinny at a young age, wasn't physically developed, but, I think people clearly missed on the explosiveness. His feel for the game is incredible. Right hand, left hand. He's really the quarterback of that Murray State team, and he's looking like every bit of a top 5 pick.
Last thing, real quick. Any chance anybody other than Zion Williamson is the #1 pick?
No.
Zero, right?
I would be surprised. I would be very surprised. Especially with the way the NBA is today. Zion can really play as almost a 4-5 in today's game. He can push off the break. He's obviously an explosive athlete. And then you add in the marketing aspect of it, right? I mean, he's a huge personality. Teammates love him. Just a star in the making. I think I'd be shocked if he were the #1 pick.
Iggy. You like Iggy?
Brazdeikis, yeah. I mean, he can really score. He's aggressive. You know, the thing with Michigan prospects is Beilein is such a good coach that he gets 110% out of every single guy. So, you know, we've seen it in the past with a guy like Trey Burke or Nick Stauskas. They don't always look as good in the NBA as they did in Michigan.
Iggy with the foul. Mike Schmitz, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks
for having me, guys. Appreciate it.
17-16, a dandy here in Madison. Have your clicker, do the whole thing. Iggy Brazdeikis just picked up his second personal foul. John Beilein does not play guys very much at all with 2 fouls in the first half, so he may be sitting for the balance of this 7 and change.
And that doesn't hurt Michigan as much as you might believe, because Isaiah Livers is really good. Like really good, and he's starter good, and he fits the position perfectly, and the matchup right now with Iverson is a good one. I would expect, well, not now because Happ is out, but they will double off Iverson.
Tried to slide it down low. Reavers for Iverson, and a Wisconsin turnover.
Well, that looked like it hit Teskey's foot.
Took an odd bounce, didn't it?
Sure did.
Just the second Wisconsin turnover. Michigan a rare 5 in the first half. Undefeated Michigan. You'll see undefeated Virginia later on tonight in our Sonic blockbuster against Duke. 2 unbeatens remaining as Poole creates his own shot so well.
Yeah, he does. That one, he fell back. He didn't fade back. He fell, and there's a big difference. Thus, it hit the front of the rim. It's not bad to take a step back as long as your shoulders are pretty much going forward, but when your shoulders go behind, then you're slinging it most times. If you miss, you're short. There's your high ball screen switch.
Trice off of Teskey. Missed it short. Offensive rebound for Ford and Wisconsin with his 2 fouls. Davison made himself available, and they'll reset. Boy, Teskey just changes the game defensively down there.
And you can't, if you go to the baseline against John Teskey, you have to get to the rim or the other side of the basket. On that possession, twice the ball got stuck under the rim because Teskey can't square up right there and move his feet and pin you. You can't, only if you know you can get to the rim. If it's 50-50, kick it out, post him.
Ethan Happ compared him to Jack Salt of Virginia.
Very good comparison. Salt maybe a little bit thicker, but both of them know their role, high ball screen roll, catch and finish, and play defense. Now, Salt can't do this.
He could do that.
Yes, he can.
Teskey has hit 8 threes this year. Boy, Simpson so in control at all times.
In every area, offensively, defensively.
As a team leader as well, subordinating egos. Reavers on Poole.
A little surprised Teskey isn't trying to post bottom left of your screen. Bad shot. Teskey needed to step in on Davison, throw it up to him, and go finish.
Reavers working hard against Poole. And now he pops out. Wisconsin 3-3 in the Big Ten. Michigan unbeaten 17-0. Turnover Wisconsin. Those are mounting. Simpson got it without the whistle.
Yeah, that was interesting because Davison tried to get in front, but Simpson took an extra burst, didn't allow Davison to get in position. Because everybody knows what's Davison going to do.
He's going to take a charge.
I took a charge in the airport thinking about it.
Wisconsin hasn't scored in more than 5 minutes. We'll be back in less than 35 seconds.
Hey, that was pretty good.
Xavier Simpson has 4. This last one was a beaut, right, Dan?
So many times we talk about experience, but we don't say what it means. Here's a steal. Teskey makes a steal. Now watch 34, goes to the rim. He tries to. Right there, Simpson takes off hard Because he knows what? He knows that Davison, right here, he goes, and Davison cannot get in position to take a charge. Some guys wouldn't understand that and would go at the same speed, but you could feel Simpson understanding and going at the last second. Averted the charge, got the bucket.
You saw off the top of the show him walking out of the tunnel with extreme belief that Michigan was going to win as Happ checks back in. And he has 8 for Wisconsin.
I don't care whether Ethan Happ can play in the NBA. He is a great great college basketball player.
He could challenge Orlando Tucker's all-time Wisconsin scoring record. He'd have to score about 19 to 20 points a game, and they'd have to have a run in the postseason.
I would say Michael Finley, obviously, for a pro, is the best and most well-known, but nobody statistically has had a better career in Wisconsin history than him.
And he's got the find to Ford and a Wisconsin lead.
Man, they are waiting for Ford. They are dying for Ford to become the player he was before he got hurt. Just 30% from 3, but you see, he does it easy.
Ethan Happ is as reliable as your grandmother's favorite recipe. Every game he gives Wisconsin what they need, and there's an offensive foul against Michigan. Ethan Happ from Western Illinois has Wisconsin in a 2-point lead. And Michigan best team in the country?
I think it depends on what happens this afternoon. I think that if Virginia beats Duke, Cuff, I think Virginia's the best team in the country. I think the team that's playing the best is Michigan State. I'm not so sure they're not. But I got to tell you, if Virginia goes in and beats Virginia Tech, they're the best team in the country.
They already did that.
I mean, Duke, excuse me, I'm sorry. If they beat Duke today after beating Virginia Tech, they're the best team in the country.
Happ right into Teskey for 2.
And you know what he does? He leans with his shoulder, so he shoots a left-handed hook. But he leans with his right shoulder into the body where Teskey couldn't get his hands up or jump.
Ethan Happ is always the last guy off the practice floor. We saw it yesterday as Michigan is still over from 3 in this game.
Look at the hands are up. The hands come out, they're up. And that's the best look they've had. And Happ wasn't there to block out, but
Davison is waving that was over the cylinder. Teskey looked like he waited long enough.
Yeah, I thought it was a good offensive rebound, and nobody blocked Teskey out once Happ went out.
Trice turns the corner on Matthews, and here comes Simpson. 5-on-4 for the moment for Michigan.
Well, he made a mistake. Should have gone over here to pull Simpson. He had him wide open looking for a 3.
Teskey, little double clutch.
Spun it the wrong way. He spun it to the right. He didn't spin it towards the basket.
Those small changes.
Huge.
Happ immediately.
See how he goes into him with his shoulder? Yeah. That stymies the defender.
How do you counter that?
Oh, you hook. How do you counter it? You give him just a little bit more room, and you have your hands above your elbows and over your ears before he even makes a move. Because you can't bring him up. It's really difficult. So if you start with your hands at your ears, then you can bring him up and influence the shot.
Davison posting up for 2.
He did it there, too. He leaned right. That's very good offense by Davison. He flashed in front of Matthews. Matthews was late, and then when he got it, he went in with his shoulder to the defender.
Pull the pirouette. Got the whistle.
Great no call. That was not charging on Poole into Davison.
And they will give the continuation as well.
This is not a charge. That's a flop, and that is continuation for an and 1. I love a good charge, but that wasn't one.
This is the basket interference. Teskey, yes or no?
No.
Agree.
That moving flop is never a charge. Now, I know you can move, but I love Davison, but that was a great non-call and then a good call on the three-point play. Look at this.
Happ has it blocked by Teske.
That time Teske had his hands up and Happ was trying to flip it over. He didn't get into his body.
To the corner. Simpson. And a Michigan lead.
First three of the game comes from the guy you might least expect. But I'm telling you, when you are a leader and you throw yourself into your team, those are the kind of things that happen.
You said
guys
it.
that do that.
He worked so hard with his dad in the offseason on his shot. He made 5 of them Sunday against Northwestern. And Simpson will tap the brakes and hold for the final possession for undefeated Michigan.
And the previous game against Northwestern, at Northwestern, John Beilein had to take him out because he couldn't make any, and Northwestern was exposing him late. That's toughness in basketball.
Mental toughness.
Yes, sir.
And they'll give the foul. It's on Dimitric Trice. Don't forget NBA Saturday, presented by HyperX Gaming on ABC. Thunder and Sixers, 3:30 Eastern, 2:30 Central. Then at prime time, 8:30 Eastern, 7:30 Central. The Lakers against James Harden and the Rockets. What a season he has had. Superhero stuff. Both games also available on the ESPN app. You can watch anywhere, as Wisconsin does have one more foul to give. We'll see if they and when they do. If they do, Kobe King tried to, and there have been so few fouls in this game, the officials didn't even know what to do with it.
Now you're going to see a timeout. Yeah, John Beilein is going to get a timeout. And you're going to see a lob, or you're going to see a straight just throw it up to somebody on the block.
Hey, UFC tonight.
Can't wait.
You ready?
Yeah.
UFC Fight Night at Barclays Center in Brooklyn. Main event bout on ESPN Plus in English and Spanish. TJ Dillashaw, great front page story on him on ESPN.com this week and his weight loss against flyweight champ Henry Cejudo for Cejudo's belt. Prelim starts 6 Eastern on ESPN Plus. Then ESPN has the rest at 8. Free trial of ESPN Plus on ESPNplus.com. Jordan Poole, Dan.
Yeah, a lot of guys are being talked about as NBA players. I just love this kid's game, and if I'm an NBA guy, I got to take a look. If I'm a college guy, I got to figure out how to guard him because he can do a lot of things. There you see a step back. That's after the drive. He penetrates and pitch. You name it, he can do it, and he is, I think, among the most improved players in college basketball. I mean, look, everybody remembers his shot last year, and that's fine. But he's so much more than just the shot that put him in the Sweet 16 against Houston. There's a lot. Nope. Good defense. There's another one.
Teske couldn't get his mitts on it, and this is no good. But Michigan fans might have been reminiscing about Ben Brust for the moment there with that half-court shot. It didn't go down. 6-0 run to end the half for Michigan. Adnan's in the studio with his guys after this timeout. Welcome back to Saturday Showcase presented by 5 Hour Energy. Last 10 years, Wisconsin's 8-5 against top 10 teams here at the Kohl Center. They trail undefeated Michigan 27-25 in the half. And we take a look at today's game track. Brought to you by Alliance for Lifetime Income. Michigan, 7 turnovers, odd for them in the first half. Wisconsin, for the 4th time this year, didn't shoot a free throw in the first half. Ethan Happ with his 42nd consecutive double-figure game. Jason Benetti, Dan Dockich, Michigan possibly #1 on Monday if they win this game. How do they do that in the second half?
Michigan has to come out and continue to guard. They've done a great job on Dimitric Trice. They've kept him to 0 points, and he's averaging 14. They have to continue to penetrate pitch and be confident in their threes. End of the half, they ended up taking a 6-0 run, and they did it 2 ways. They did it by driving, getting an and one. You're going to see it right here. And then the first 3 of the afternoon was hit, or the morning, I guess, here, was hit by Xavier Simpson. For Michigan, push it, keep the ball popping, knock in your shot. For Wisconsin, they've got to get Dimitric Trice going. This cannot be just Ethan Happ. It has to be Trice. 14 points a night. Xavier Simpson's held them to nothing.
This is the rare game that's going to get to the second half before noon local time. These teams play as fast a basketball in terms of real-time pace as anybody in the country.
I guarantee you at halftime, a couple things were said. Let's take Michigan. Number 1, you mentioned the 7 turnovers. 9 total usually. 7 a little bit sloppy with the basketball. And I think sometimes they've tried to overforce things. Take your time, knock in your shot. And for Wisconsin, look, You look at it, they have 25 points. 10 of them are from Ethan Happ. 6 are from Brad Davidson. That's fine. Who else is going to play? You've got to drive the basketball, whether you are Trice, whether you are Davison,
Can
or
we get
whether
the
you are
countdown
King.
going until the ball dropping here? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Nice.
Happy midday.
Very nice. Got to get to the free throw line if you're Wisconsin.
They don't do that.
They got to drive. Every game, Bill Belichick always says this, every game it's its own entity. You don't coach, maybe we don't do it. No, in this game, you've got to drive. You don't have to shoot when you drive. Sit down, fake, jump into somebody, but you're not going to win this game if you can't get to the free throw line if you're Wisconsin.
They don't shoot it well, though, is the problem. They're 294th in the country in free throw percentage. We'll see. 2-point game, second half.
Then they're going to have to hit 8 threes to win.
Brazdeikis sat quite a bit of that first half with 2 personal fouls. He only played 8.5 minutes of the first 20. Here is Trice, who was 0 for 4 in that first half.
There's your drive. I'm telling you, I guarantee you, guard said at least pro.
Happ off the juggle on the help by Poole. Couldn't finish.
I don't care. That's the way to go. But you can always get that shot from Happ. But a couple guys have to drive it. Not him, not there.
He was surprised by Happ there defensively. That's not a foul, right?
The great Bart Fox, our producer, said he was going to show us the push. Drive.
That's a foul on Poole, his first. You think?
No.
Left hand?
Brazdeikis.
Iggy.
Look, he weighs 250. He's going to be an MMA champion. That push.
It's UFC fight night tonight.
Right. The push was all visual, not effectual.
You got to like that guy, Iggy, though, because he says he likes playing on the road. He likes being the villain.
Did you see what Iverson did there? He missed the shot, but he didn't just go up. He took his time. He shot faked, which is you have to do that against Teskey. You have to, because he'll block it if you just fall into the shot.
Reset of the shot clock for Wisconsin. Still looking for our first points of this second half. Happ scores! A laser.
Got really good because Brazdeikis came over and he was in position. Teskey was coming. Happ split him.
Over 1,800 points and 1,000 rebounds for Ethan Happ. Poole got caught in between that time.
Davison's limping.
Happ bumping on Teskey. Got him in the air. And Teskey and the defense recovered.
Yeah, he should have taken it up 2 hands, put his hands on the backboard. Instead, he flipped up a jump hook. He had Teskey off balance. Nice.
Matthews wriggles through for 2. His first bucket.
Nobody works on pivoting on the perimeter more than John Beilein. If you go to a John Beilein practice, it is literally a 7th grade, you think, pivoting, passing away from the defense, and you saw it got him 2 points right there by Matthews.
Every small input gets touched in a John Beilein practice.
This is not as easy as it looks. Watch this, all right? A stop, a pivot. A pivot, maybe a walk, maybe he drug his foot, I don't know, but he stayed with it. And then watch this by Happ. This is what I'm talking about. Ball screen, get it, drive it. Look, Iggy's there, but no way. Fundamentally sound. He kept his chin on the rim, used the backboard, and jumped sideways while staying under control.
Teskey off the lob, drew the foul on Reavers.
That's there.
Was there all first half, wasn't it?
Yeah, it really was. When you look at this is going to be here. Here's the move. Teskey down to the bucket off of the ball screen. And all you have to do with John Teskey is throw it up. Like Kobe King has to stay home because of the threat of the 3. But all you got to do, throw it up. And a smart play by Teskey, shooting it as he got it. Meaning he knew he was pushed, so he just flipped it at the rim to get 2 shots.
John Teske, who bulked up so much with John Sanderson, the strength and conditioning coach for Michigan. Funny story in the paper within the last couple of weeks about Teske's first meeting with Sanderson. He called him Mr. Sanderson, and they were making fun of him because he did it in this high-pitched voice as though he was a 7th grader just stepping into middle school. And now he's turned into a real dude down there as Wisconsin gets a response from Reavers.
Really smart by Reavers. What did he do? Shot faked around the basket. Kids out there, you got the ball in a great spot. Use it. Oh.
Teske got the bounce. Clang and splash.
That's a Peta shot. A few years ago, Peta demanded you change the composite of the ball. You see it. It was a huge rule change in college basketball. Huge. The ball sticks on the back iron. That's got to happen right there.
First bucket for Trice.
Got to happen. Not winning without him getting off.
Brosdakis. Little tip back from Teske, but Kobe King corrals it for Wisconsin down by 3. Happ working hard against Brosdakis. Reavers scores.
Shot fake, drive it, shot fake it again, knock it in.
Can tell you played for Coach Knight. You love the shot fake.
Well, I just know in this game it'll work. Not every game, this game.
Poole on Trice. Teske is fouled. He'll go to the line for 2.
This is true. You can look it up. Peta demanded you change the composite of basketballs a while back. You see this in almost every game because it's so soft it sticks right there and goes in.
Michigan by 1 tonight. Virginia and Duke, the Sonic blockbuster. It's got a player iso cam only on ESPN Plus. A complimentary viewing experience closer to the action in Cameron. Reese Davis, Seth Greenberg, Jay Will have commentary. It's the first ever college basketball ESPN Plus multicast detailing the craziness inside of Cameron Indoor.
I thought you were going to say it was just an iso cam on Zion Williamson.
Zion cam would be fun. Let's do that.
Are we sure?
Teske misses both. It's a 1-point game. Undefeated Michigan trying to become #1 in the country. They could do that with a win, depending on what the voters think of Virginia if they were to beat Duke later tonight. Oh, Teske smacked it away from Happ.
That's why I've been saying you can't fall around Teske. You got to shot fake and jump with 2 feet.
Crowd wanted to travel on Brosdakis. They get the travel on Matthews.
You just saw there why Mike Schmitz earlier was talking about Charles Matthews. It's an NBA player's got to be able to knock that in. Watch here. Right here, he can shot fake and go up, but if you fall, Teske blocks that every time because the ball isn't even up to the backboard. It's a nice move against some guys, but you cannot do that against John Teske. You have to gather, shot fake, and then go up through his body.
Will the help come? It does not. Happ to Davison anyway. And the rebound, Simpson.
Boy, did Jordan Poole get back out and influence the shot of Davidson with long arms there.
Simpson's so quick on the gas pedal, isn't he? That explosiveness.
He's quick on the trigger here.
Poole drills the 3.
Davison just relaxed. He just relaxed for 1 instant. He just turned his head and was watching. Poole relocated, doesn't need any time.
How about those 2 possessions? Poole closes out on Davison. Davison doesn't.
Right.
Trice finds his shot. He's got 4 in the second half.
Really comfortable, something to watch. Brosdakis has switched to Trice. Both buckets have been against Brosdakis. He's comfortable. He gets spaced out against Brosdakis.
You switching it back?
I'm telling Brosdakis I'm either going to switch it back or you're going to get into him, one of the 2, or you're going to sit.
Taken away by Reavers. Davison with Poole. And Poole went for the strip. Instead, it's his 2nd foul.
Not a bad foul. What's the difference here? Watch Jordan Poole get out and get into the shooter. Jordan Poole, number 2, goes in, helps, sprints out, and he influenced. See Davison going backwards? Now watch Poole. He relocates because Davison fell asleep. There is no influence there. Poole was able to get into his shot and use Davison's hand as like the end of a sight of a gun.
You could consider that +6.
Absolutely.
For Michigan.
Absolutely.
Trice shot seeking now.
Should. Has to. Look at Teske running.
How about that? Big guy, 94 feet.
He got sprinting. How about the hands? That's 6'11", 7 feet, going dead on the run, catching, finishing without blinking.
Most improved player in college basketball?
Boy, he's close. There's your double.
Brasdeikis delivered. Hap somehow pivots through it.
That's just Hap being Kevin McHale. Teske, inexcusable. You never let the guy beat you away from the double. You make him go to the double.
Simpson, little fade. This is out of bounds to Wisconsin.
Hey, big guys, run. Run like you stole something right here. Teske is going to sprint the floor. Other guys are jogging. Nobody paying attention. But when you're a big guy and you run Main Street, it gets buckets. Teske made that look easy, and I promise you, that ain't easy.
Those hands.
Oh, he is great. It sounds stupid. From his wrist to his fingertips, he's as good as anybody. Like, a lot of guys have bricks. He does not. It's soft. He uses jerkins.
Got to find his hand twin. Recruit that guy. Extra pass. Ford for the lead. He got it.
Huge.
Intercepted from Poole. Right back in bounds by Hap. Davison tried it across the baseline. Poole rips it for Teske. Had it blocked. Here comes Hap.
Too much Teske in half court. Twice in a row. Don't need it. Reverse it and then go to your high ball screen stuff. Same thing here. Don't need anything fast. Last time Davison, too quick. Take your time. Get it to Hap. Play out of it.
We have not seen much of Brevin Pritzel. He is in the game. Hap on Teske. Whirling, and he missed it. Simpson chops his steps. Michigan down by 1. Unbeaten early on a mammoth day of college basketball here on ESPN.
If I'm Poole, I want him shooting, not playmaking.
Simpson!
Little back screen. Hap fell asleep on Teske. Just a little up screen. Hap is exhausted. And when your man sets an up screen, the screener's man is responsible for the basket. Hap fell asleep. Simpson layup.
Ethan Hap had to work real hard in practice yesterday end-to-end against his assistant coach, Joe Krabenhoff. There, Hap the miss. Davison was smelling blood there as Poole dribbled it off his knee. Poole turns on the Jets. Teske went over the top to Bryant Free. And a foul on Pritzel.
Oh! Come on. Guys are hustling. Guys are balling. That wasn't a foul. Come on, man.
We're somehow going to try and top this game. Later on, 3:30 Eastern, ABC, Thunder and Sixers, then Virginia Duke, our Sonic blockbuster. UFC Fight Night throughout the night. Cejudo Dillashaw at 10 Eastern. Lakers, Rockets in between. James Harden against Los Angeles.
Well, did you see what Charles Barkley said about the Sixers?
I didn't. What did he say?
Dumbest organization ever for playing Joel Embiid the other night against the Pacers. Joel Embiid. The Sixers came in and beat the Pacers bad, and Embiid was really effective but injured. My man went off Sir Charles.
He's always fun.
I love him.
1-point lead for Michigan. 31-1 their last 32 games.
Yeah, I just don't like for Michigan Poole making plays right now.
Why not?
They have him figured out. They're getting underneath all of his stuff, and they're staying with the roll guy, forcing him uncomfortable. He's been very uncomfortable 3 straight possessions other than the 1 pass.
How does Wisconsin solve this airlock defense for Michigan?
You keep moving, you keep swinging it, and you drive it. And when you drive it, you either find it or get fouled.
Davison wants to pass. Teskey came out and foul called on the double.
3 possessions out of 4. One time, Poole made a nice pass. But watch here. The ball screen comes for Poole. Now you see 35 Reavers. He's staying, but he's back. And Poole has to jump, shoot, off balance. Now, is he capable of making that? Yes. But that's 3 out of the 4 times he's had the ball that he has made a mistake, either turning it over or a bad shot, because the defense has stayed with him. And they were able to stay with the roll guy.
Just 3 in the second half for Poole. Sophomore from just down the road, Milwaukee. Pritzel slid it by Reavers.
Well, that is just a bad pass because Reavers was wide open.
Boy, the benches are engaged. Michigan standing with this play.
Terrible play by Xavier Simpson. He had Teskey in a mismatch on Trice under the bucket. Reavers was guarding Simpson, and Simpson inexplicably just shot it and got it blocked.
Reavers with the flyby from Matthews. Reavers wanted the foul. Instead, it was crowbarred away.
What a great play. Good run by Levis.
And the Thunder on the back end.
Wow. Running the floor. Teskey makes a great play, doesn't hold on to it, gets it out, and you run the floor, and Michigan will throw it ahead to you.
John Teskey's been outstanding this afternoon.
The most dominant player in this game is John Teskey. Watch, it takes it, and he just gets rid of it to Poole, who gets rid of it. Ball gets thrown ahead. Next thing you know, 1 dribble total for a dunk. 2 guys are running. Matthews was out in front. Wisconsin is jogging backwards. You never jog backwards. First guy turns, sprints to the front of the rim, and then turns around. Wisconsin, too many guys backpedaling.
Half off the floor right now. You mentioned the fatigue a couple minutes ago in Wisconsin now. About 4 minutes without a point.
They've been trying to go high ball screen, pop Reavers, but Poole has done a good job of coming over. It'll be Matthews if they do it this time.
Teskey with a handout on Trice. Taken away. Livers pops out.
Bad pass. One-handed cross-court bounce pass. No need.
Didn't need it.
No need. Livers made a great play to steal it.
He says, my bad, and he's right.
Well, the answer to that as a coach is, who else was it? Like, really? Tell Noah about the flood.
They tell you in law school, front your bad facts. Get them out there before the opposition can.
Yeah. In this case, the opposition is the coach. See how many guys are running at Reavers? This time it was Simpson.
Reavers in reverse, a lean forward. Got it, and a foul!
This is how you play basketball against a double team. The 4-man doesn't stand looking for a 3. He's the 4-man forward. You cut right to the front of the rim on a post double. Cut to the front of the rim, jump up, chin on the rim, 3-point play. That's basketball.
That's Wisconsin's first free throw of the afternoon, and half comes back in a tie game with 8 and change remaining.
A lean forward, nice ovation deserved.
Remember, as a freshman, 3 for 4 from 3-point range in the Big Ten tournament against Michigan. They've gotten a face full of him in the past. Look at Simpson hopping on the dribble. What energy. Brosdakis into King. Turned away. Matthews, no call. Step through and a foul.
That is, I've noticed this. Officials, for whatever the reason, have decided they're not giving Brad Davison the charge. I thought that was a charge. And I think it's wrong if they're doing that. I've noticed this in studying. This is a charge. He's moving his feet. That's a charge.
Legal guarding position.
Absolutely, and an extended right arm by Matthews. I honestly goodness believe that officials are being told, I don't know if they're being told, but there is something that's a charge. There is something going on with Brad Davison where officials are not calling charges after that 5-charge game. And I think it's wrong, dead wrong. You take a charge, you call a charge.
If he draws them, you get them.
No need. Officials or head of officials shouldn't be labeling anybody. Call the game as it's played. Call this game as it's played. That's ridiculous.
Might be an argument for not having conference officials, right? Because you see somebody too much.
Could be. Yeah.
Trice misses.
Look at the throw ahead. Bad move, but man, they look immediately to throw ahead. Great play.
Davison uses his emotion elsewhere. Brosdakis got a hand. Head gets the bucket of the lead. Simpson bracketed. Hamp goes spinning down the deck and wants a timeout. He got it.
Now, this is the Kohl Center we all know and love right here. Look at Davison going into the stands. Love it. And then watch Hap. This is just a big kid in the park that's just bigger, stronger, better than his opponent.
Stay right here all day long. 4 Eastern, number 12, Kentucky, number 14, Auburn, a game Auburn won last year. Then number 1, Duke off the loss to Syracuse, trying to bounce back. A sonic blockbuster against unbeaten Virginia. 2 unbeatens remaining, Simpson and Michigan. Virginia on the road at Duke, 6 Eastern, 5 Central tonight, also on the ESPN app.
I just had Auburn at Texas A&M. I mean, Brown and Harper, those 2 guards, when they're making shots, they can beat Kentucky. They can beat Kentucky going away. But as Sonny Smith, former head coach, told me, when they're not, anybody can get them. Those 2 guys are really, really good.
Really good.
Really good.
Brad Davison into half. Double comes. Out to King. 4-3. Jordan Poole has been the big shot guy for Michigan. Couldn't hit that one.
First time all year I've seen Michigan a little bit dispirited, little bit. And Poole was the guy on the other end that was.
They've only been played inside of 10 points twice all year long. Offensive board for Reavers. Under 6 to go. Unbeaten Michigan in trouble. Hap got caught and the foul on the double by Poole.
Remember last time Hap tried to fall and got it blocked? He learned. He held on to it, got a foul.
Coming up. I know you guys had the champagne and your top hats and everything in the studio as we counted down to midday. Jordan Poole with 4 personal fouls. He's splaining himself to John Beilein right now, but not a great game for him.
No, he has really struggled. I think Wisconsin's done a nice job of getting into him, staying in front of him, and getting him off balance. 4 fouls, not a big deal, but this is.
Hap soaring in for 2. A 6-point Wisconsin lead.
4 points off inbounds play for Wisconsin is big in this game.
Eli Brooks playing for Poole as Matthews bags misses the jumper.
We haven't said Matthews' name very much in this game on half court. That was massive because you look out here and it's not a great offensive lineup for Michigan.
Matthews didn't score in the first half. Brasdeikis still hasn't scored. Michigan 5-16 against Wisconsin under John Beilein. Reavers pops out. Davison probing. Fade away. Way short.
Yeah, terrible by Davison. Half screaming for the ball. No need. He had.
Brooks drives half. Unbeaten Michigan, number 2 in the country. Down by 4. It's an offensive foul on Matthews.
Really good call. Matthews extended the right arm. Easy. Watch the right arm. Wisconsin's playing like Wisconsin should play. They have not played, I think, very good defense over the course of the last few weeks. Today, they are guarding hard.
They haven't played many full games in Big Ten play either. It's taken second half comebacks to get to this position in the past at 3-3 in the league. Double on Trice goes away. Comes again. Haps alone! That is the wrong kind of happenstance for Michigan. The 30th 20-point game of Ethan Happ's collegiate career has Wisconsin up 6. 10 for 19, and for the kid from Rock Ridge High School, a boatload of dimes. He's got 6.
Only 1 turnover as well and 2 steals. Right now, problem for Michigan is you have nobody going. Nobody you feel comfortable with offensively. Jump shot by Poole wouldn't be bad here.
Simpson challenges and scores.
And they drove it right at Poole. Davison had no chance. He was not going to leave and give up a 3, so he stayed. Simpson too strong.
Unbeaten Michigan, down 4, under 4 to go. Happ wanted it. He's got it. On Teskey. He scores!
The pressure that Happ puts on the defense. You leave him alone, he goes and does that.
That very move he was practicing after everybody was off the court yesterday. And there it's smacked away. Trice had a notion.
Smart.
Simpson picked his pocket. Poole flaring. Simpson left it short. Rebound Simpson, he's fouled.
3 great plays by Simpson. The steal. Then when he goes for the layup, you got to see this. He got fouled, no call, because he went right between the arms of the defender, and then he took it back. Great steal. Gets sloppy. He's going to take it. Never spin dribble, kids. Watch his layup. He goes right through, kind of pushes off, no call, and then he takes it back. Never spin dribble on the perimeter against a good defender. Never.
Xavier Simpson missed the first. Hey, Sports Center tonight, 10 Eastern. Zubin Mehenti, Michael Eaves, the latest on the last 4 teams in the NFL. That Virginia Duke highlights that 6 Eastern time. Lakers Rockets updates. Sports Center tonight, 10 Eastern on ESPN and the ESPN app. Simpson missed both. Rebound plucked away by Livers. First offensive rebound of the second half for Michigan.
And that was a big one, a tough one. Everybody should be staying home for Wisconsin.
Livers. Oh, just missed. Michigan ball.
Nobody, and I mean nobody from Michigan is shooting the ball with confidence. Brasdeikis has to come back in this game.
He has not scored. His low for his collegiate career is 4.
Here he comes. He has to. Reason? Because he's fearless. If you're truly fearless, then you don't care right now. You haven't scored. You're on the road. This is the biggest test of whether you're truly fearless or you just talk about being fearless. We'll see.
He said it. He wants to be the villain on the road.
You're going to get a chance right here.
Teskey lines it up and knocks it down.
Always in basketball, the guy that plays the hardest gets rewarded. Who's played harder than Teskey or Happ? Nobody.
There's the foul. Teskey goes out, and they will force Ethan Happ, a 49% foul shooter, to the line, and you might as well use your 1-and-1s on that guy.
And you can feel it in this arena. Like it went home. You could feel it.
It got tense.
Yeah.
Ethan Happ said after practice yesterday, when he's walking around, misses a shot, he's thinking mechanically, they're trying to get him to stop that, and that looked good.
His stroke, fundamentally, wrist under the ball, elbow under the wrist, snap your wrist, is pretty good.
One for 2.
Crowds feel like that's a win. Michigan feels like that's a win as well.
Teskey. That one short.
That one was better contested by Reavers. Ball loose.
Tie-up will go to Wisconsin. 1:57 to go. The only Wolverines missing there were Jim Harbaugh's.
That was really, really good by Reavers coming out and influencing Teskey. When you influence, usually the shooter shoots short, and that's exactly what Teskey did, and it was because of Reavers' hustle. Think they're going to foul here? Well,
Depends on who has the ball.
well I mean Happ.
They give it to Trice.
Ooh.
Pressure on. Matthews showed, and now Davison in control. He's a 75% foul shooter. Wisconsin as a team 294th in the country in free throw shooting.
I was looking at John Beilein. John Beilein is going to want a foul if it gets to Happ.
Trice. Kobe King flying in for the rebound.
Look at Simpson. Poole did not block out.
This is Michigan ball. The
And
officials
Simpson
will talk it
stripped.
over.
Watch this. That's easy. We shouldn't even have to look at it. You're being paid to officiate. Let's go.
There's a good call. We'll get there.
I know. But what a play by Simpson. Poole has had a bad game. I mean, I love the kid, but he has struggled. He doesn't block out. Rebound comes, and Simpson once again bails him out.
Give the officials credit. Quick review.
Yeah,
off we go.
Yeah.
Poole has just 3 points in the second half, to your point.
I would have to go to Poole, or I would have to go to Brasdeikis here. Drive it towards them if you can, hoping for some help. Penetrate pitch. If there's no help, stop, get fouled, or lay it in. High ball screen towards one of those two guys. I would say towards Poole.
Under 90 seconds to go. They played to overtime 6 years ago. It was Ben Brust winning it and sending it to an extra 5 minutes for Wisconsin. It would take a Michigan comeback today. Here is Poole. Davison trailing. Just short.
They trust him. He never got turned towards the basket.
Trice bumped. Simpson called for it. Dimitri Trice, a 71% foul shooter and a 1-and-1.
John Beilein did not want that foul.
That was the last 1-and-1 Michigan could give, and they expended it on a pretty good free throw shooter.
I believe of everybody in this building, that's a guy I want to have on the line if I'm Wisconsin.
Why?
Because he just, I think, is fearless. He's got a great stroke. He's been making big free throws his entire life as a guard, whether it's high school, AAU, whatever. I want him more than anybody in this building from Wisconsin.
Dimitri Trice. Got it. John Teske has done everything for Michigan today, and it may not be enough. Two for two. Xavier Simpson. King on Matthews. Rivers. Spins the play. He had a hand in his face.
He had 3 opportunities in the last 2 possessions to shoot a 3. The toughest one was the one he took and made. The step back has become huge, has it not? Like, he probably had a better one here, but he shot fake smart. There's your step back. There's nothing you can do. Look, if you're Reavers, you take it. Hey, look, pretty good to force him to move. If Isaiah Livers is going to hit step backs to beat you, what are you going to do? Good for the kid.
Sophomore out of Kalamazoo, didn't score in the first half. Missed a couple due to illness. 3-point game here. Let's check in with Adnan.
All right, JB, thank you. Plenty of drama you got going on there. LaGerald Vick coming up for Kansas. 5 games with 5 or more from downtown. Number 7, Jayhawks taking on West Virginia. Plenty of college hoops coming up. But back to you guys. What looks to be a frantic finish, Jason.
The only thing we're missing here is the musket they'll have down in West Virginia.
West Virginia hasn't been this big of a mess since '02 when I took the job and left after a week.
Which was the mess? You taking the job or leaving?
It worked out pretty good for both of us, but West Virginia got John Beeline.
Michigan 2-13 at the Kohl Center. They're down 3 here. A minute to go. How do you play this defensively?
I want to pick up like they just did and try to get a turnover if they can. They actually, I thought, had a walk. Then you don't foul anybody other than Happ. If you're in a bad spot with Happ, you reach in and you foul, period. But you don't do what Xavier Simpson did out here. You make somebody else make a shot, and then if you get the rebound, you go. If I'm Wisconsin, I don't care. I want to get the ball to Happ on the left side, Jason, because in this particular game, that's where he's been the most effective.
Even with his foul shooting trouble, you want him to touch the ball.
Absolutely. I want him to have the ball because I want to force Michigan to either play him one-on-one, foul him if they help. He's a guy I trust more than anybody else on the court.
The care he has for this program. Last year on Frank Kaminsky's jersey retirement, he said after the game how much he wanted to play well for all of those guys who were gone. Big win on the line here against unbeaten Michigan. Happ gets rid of it quickly, and they're into the front court.
Oh, they reached and fouled. Brazdeikis fouled away from the ball.
They were fouling Happ. Brazdeikis did it. Donnie Epley has the call.
Hey, you're going to see right here.
And now we've got an intentional foul. They're going to call it intentional against Brazdeikis.
You're going to see right here. Here's Brazdeikis. There's Happ. Now, you see, he's just trying to foul. And they're going to call it intentional.
So Ethan Happ draws the intentional foul. He'll go to the line and get the ball. And John Beeline's arguing. Donnie Epley and Lewis Garrison talking it over. They're going to go to the scorer's table. Beeline is livid. Now it's incumbent upon Happ to make the free throws. Second one. Never looked good.
Let me show you what really happened here. Happ actually had the basketball right here, and you're going to see Brazdeikis come, and he's going to try to foul him, but he gives the ball up. There's your initial foul, no call, and then Brazdeikis goes back. You can barely see it there. 4 to 5. I would not foul Trice.
Now you got to start thinking about it, though. Minimal possessions in a 4-point game. You're going to get it back with 20 seconds to go after this possession. If you're Michigan. Half the screen.
Smart, keep it in the guy's hands.
Trice, half, missed it, got it! Sampson had it blocked, Reavers, up ahead, to cap it for Wisconsin! Davison, one more for good measure. And a foul on Michigan. This court will not have 13 people on it in 5 seconds. Virginia, you are alone. Davison, got it.
Better team won. Better team today won. Great game plan by Greg Gard. Fantastic energy by this crowd. Davison, Happ, Trice. Better team won. They didn't make a bunch of threes to win it. They played better than Michigan to win this game, period.
Even to the last 50-50 ball. Wisconsin by 10. And here comes Madison to the court. The 9th top 10 win at the Kohl Center the last 10 years for Wisconsin. 10-point win for the Badgers. We'll get back here to talk to Greg Gard. For now, we go into the studio and Adnan.